Hi and welcome along to AFTV Transfer Daily, the show that keeps you up to date with players that have been linked with a summer transfer move to Arsenal. Really enjoyed the friendly game. Well, you know what? We say friendly. There was some tackles flying in there. I mean, Everton were really physical in that game, especially Yerry Mina. But I enjoyed the game last night. Arsenal winning by 2-0, a very comfortable win. And a very impressive looking Arsenal yesterday, especially in the first half. The way they pressed, the way they moved the ball, totally dominated the game against Everton. And some good performances in that first half, including, yet again, Gabriel Jesus. He's looking like a very good signing. Scored another great goal, brilliant touch and finish into the roof of the net, and was really the standout player. Eddie Nketiah came on in the second half, looked really sharp again. Didn't get a goal, but again, looked really lively. William Saliba, great to see him in an Arsenal shirt, and he looked very comfortable and commanding. And yeah, just some pleasing performances around the pitch. The players that came on in the first half, you know, more of the first team players, looked really good. Players who came on in the second half, a lot of players that are fringe players or players that could be on their way out, not as good, but you wonder what sort of frame of mind are those sort of players in, because, you know, they know that they might even be there come the end of the transfer window. Are they just trying to preserve themselves, or are they going all out? You know, it's hard to tell. But a player that we're expecting to see coming very shortly is Alexander Zinchenko. All the reports are the deal now has been done for £30 million. Personal terms have literally been agreed, and we should get an announcement on this one imminently, hopefully in the next couple of days. I don't know if it's going to be quick enough for him to be able to get on a plane and join up with Arsenal, maybe in time for the game against Chelsea. We'll have to wait and see on that one, but certainly, you know, speaking to everybody last night on the stream, a very positive signing. We all were in agreement that, you know, it's a signing that makes perfect sense. But what's going to happen with Nuno Tavares? He played in the first half. You know, it was all right in that first half. Now, Nuno Tavares has been heavily linked with a move away. The team that's said to be in the pole position to sign him is Marseille over there in France. However, there's a lot of talk that the deal may have collapsed for him to go to Marseille. Sticking point seems to be Marseille want him on a loan with an option to buy. Arsenal just want him to go out on loan. They don't want to have an option to buying it. They still look like they believe in the player and don't want to put that option in, and that seems to be the sticking point on it. There are a lot of other clubs that are interested in Nuno Tavares as well, so let's see what happens with him. But he did start in the first half of the game yesterday. Now, what about this guy, Milinkovic-Savic? Speaking to Turkish yesterday, he said that this is the guy he would want more than anyone else to come into that midfield, even above Tielemans. He said Milinkovic-Savic would be the guy that he'd love to see come in. Now, according to a publication called Tutto Juve, they're saying that Arsenal are preparing their first bid for Milinkovic-Savic. You'll see a reported valuation there of £63 million. Apparently, Lazio are looking for around about £55 million. Arsenal looking to pay less, obviously, but wanting to bring Lazio to the table to start having discussions over the player, and they're going to make their opening bid so that they can start having discussions over the possible transfer of Milinkovic-Savic. Now, let's wait and see what happens with this one. I mean, it would be a very pricey deal. He's a player that's very highly rated in European football. He's been at Lazio for a long time. Had a brilliant season last year. A real top quality performer. Box-to-box midfielder. More, again, than a defensive midfielder, but one of the highest quality. Will Arsenal going for him? It'd be big money. Let's wait and see what happens. Tielemans still seems to be the more obvious one. Brendan Rodgers admitting, when questioned about this one, that he's going to be moved. Well, right, let me rephrase that. He didn't say he's going to be moving in so many words, but what he said is that there's been no negotiations with Youri Tielemans about a new contract. Now, obviously, Youri Tielemans has 1 year left on his contract. They need to negotiate something to make him stay Rodgers was bigging him up and saying that despite this, he's still been training well. He's still with the Leicester squad at the moment. But it seems very obvious that he's going to leave. As he said, no negotiations yet. He was asked whether, what happens if he doesn't sign any deal. Would you let him go and just run his contract down till the last year? Brendan Rodgers was kind of, well, let's wait and see what happens and stuff like that. They also said that they've had no bids for him yet. Now, that's unusual for a player of his quality that there's no bids. Is it that a lot of other teams are saying to themselves, there seems to be some agreement with Arsenal, so we're not even going to bother? Or what is really going on with this Youri Tielemans situation? Remember, we said earlier on in the week that he put his house up for sale. That had caused a bit of frenzy, but still no real big movement on the Youri Tielemans one. Let's wait and see what happens. I, for one, again, I was talking about it yesterday on the stream that we did, really good stream last night, about having Premier League ready players. He's Premier League ready. Just makes perfect sense to me. Now, Arsenal linked with another midfielder today. This guy's attacking midfielder, can also play as a defensive midfielder as well. And it's Wendel from Zenit St. Petersburg. He's a 24-year-old midfielder. Was bought from Sporting Lisbon in 2020 for around about £17 million. Good players, done well for Zenit St. Petersburg. But according to a publication called Globo, Arsenal have made an inquiry about Wendel and about his availability. Now, there's, he wants to terminate his deal. We know that there's big problems for players playing over in Russia. FIFA's authorised the suspension of contracts for some of these players that are playing over there in Russia. Of course, none of the Russian teams can play in European football, not really being recognised at the moment because of all the trouble and all the war that's been going on over in Ukraine. And Wendel could be set for a move. Now, West Ham and Flamengo, two other teams very, very interested in signing him as well. Valued at around about £17.1 million, although that's kind of what they paid for him, Zenit St. Petersburg, and if they're going to have to offload him, maybe they'd be looking for more money than that. Not too sure about this one. Seems a bit more a shot in the dark for me, but according to that publication, Arsenal have made an inquiry about him and they're going to be looking at players as alternatives if they don't get their number one targets in the transfer window. But Wendel linked with a move to Arsenal today. Now, a guy who played yesterday, I thought he played really well, was Pablo Mari. He looked really comfortable at the back. Of course, left-sided centre-back. We've only got one in Gabriel. We don't really have a backup to Gabriel on that left-hand side of the central defence as actual centre-back. Lots of clubs interested in him. Udinese wanted to bring him back, can't quite afford him. AC Milan have showed an interest. The latest club to be showing an interest in Pablo Mari is Fenerbahce over there in Turkey. They're said to be really, really interested in him. I was saying yesterday, I wouldn't mind seeing him stay. I think he's a decent backup player. Of course, he's not played much football for Arsenal in his time since he signed for around about $5 million. I think he came from Flamengo as well. What do you guys reckon? Should we sell Pablo Mari? We get money for him. There's a lot of clubs after him, so we'll get value, probably make a bit of profit on him. I think we only paid about $5 million for him. But should we be keeping hold of him? I know we've got a lot of centre-backs, but he's the only really left-footed, left-sided centre-back that we have, apart from Gabriel. And you know that word, injuries? It can happen at any time. Now, Nicolas Pepe is being linked with many a club. Leeds United is one of the clubs that are interested in signing him. Again, he didn't have a great game yesterday. Again, what frame of mind is he in at the moment? He knows that the manager doesn't fancy him, doesn't start him in games, didn't start yesterday. Latest club to be really interested in him, Leicester City. They are interested in him. Could this be something that Arsenal use as part of any sort of deal with Tielemans? I don't know, but Leicester City said to be the latest club interested in Nicolas Pepe. He's a quality player, but if only he did it every week. That is the thing about him. And Bern Leno, notably didn't play at all yesterday. It was Matt Turner who played the full 90 minutes of the game. Even though Leno's got over there, is it they're not playing him because they're trying to protect him from any sort of injury? I mean, I know there's a couple other games left, but, now Fulham are still interested in him. But the sticking point is over the money. Fulham offered £10 million for him. Arsenal are said to want £15 million and are not budging off of that. I can't argue with that. He's a quality player. Fulham, you want a quality player like that, you're going to have to pay the money. But Leno wants to be, playing. It's a World Cup year as well. He's in that German squad at the moment. Will Fulham come back in for him? Leno's a quality keeper. Matt Turner grew into the game yesterday, but I'm sorry, he's not of the quality for me, not yet anyway, of a Leno. Leno's a top quality player. But obviously a player like Leno wants to play week in, week out, and is going to move on. So let's wait and see how that one pans out. But it was notable that he didn't come on at all yesterday, not even at half time. So are they protecting him? Listen, thanks for watching the show today. Hope you've enjoyed it. Don't forget to check out all of our great content here on AFTV. Check out all of our interviews after last night's game. Also our interviews, there was an interview with Mikel Arteta as well. Make sure you check that out. But thanks for watching the show, and I'll see you tomorrow.